habang bata ka, sige,
Ay,
trabaho
kalabira.
so kumayod ka.
It's a rockstar
Again,
life. May problema ka kayo, Miss Boots?
No. Mahal ko to. Hindi.
Correct?
We actually have a current national registry ngayon, but we will upgrade that. Gagawin natin accreditation program, and we will legitimize it as with Academy membership IDs.
The most giving people aren't there for the credit. No?
Yeah,
And I
that's
think
true.
some of you are very much examples of this. Now, we've kind of gone through the advocacies and some of the programs. I kind of want to get to each of you as individuals because there are people behind these positions and these titles. And so there's a story there as well. Previously, Direk Paolo, you were part of the Directors Guild of the Philippines as the president. Is that
One of the best presidents we've had.
Right. Now, hate to put you on the spot here, but of course, this was your last position before Film Academy of the Philippines. The DGPI had, at one point, released a statement. Using the word, I'd use the word...
Lagi kaming nagre-release ng statement.
Released ng statement, but this time nakadirekta sa FAP. So,
Okay.
At the time, I believe this was in 2023, the FAP was not able to give, one of its duties, of course, was to present a
nominee.
a nominee to the Oscars. And at the time, the DGPI had released their statement condoning this action, saying that there are, of course, films that are worthy of putting in the effort for the Academy Awards. Now, ang hirap i-imagine somebody who had stood, not directly against, but in front of the institution, suddenly becoming one of the people behind it.
Okay.
So, how did that kind of become the thing? How did you get here?
Okay. Nung when I was DGPI president, naging board din ako sa Film Academy of the Philippines. And Ma'am Boots knows this. I'm very, as an individual, I kind of want to do community service talaga lagi. And I understand some of the institutions concerning the film industry ay FAP. Meron silang responsibilidad, at kung may responsibilidad ka at kapangyarihan, meron ka ring accountability.
Yeah.
Okay. At that point, ang trabaho ng FAP was to submit an Oscar selected film sa
Sila lang ang recognized.
sila lang ang recognized. Each country kasi merong recognized body lang na pwede mag-nominate sa Oscar. Nung panahon na yon, magde-deadline na, wala pang pinapadala. So, nung time na yon, nakaligtaan ng FAP yung responsibilidad nila, and we felt like dahil may boses ako noon, dahil DGPI, I raised it. Okay. To the question, is there irony there? Sa totoo lang, walang irony kasi I've always been into community service at nagkaroon ng pagkakataon at oportunidad to do FAP. Why not restructure it? In fact, to answer the question how I got here, kasama dito si Direk Joey sa mga sa rason. I was initially called early in the year last year. I really said no kasi alam ko sakit sa ulo. Pero ang pagkakaintindi ko, may mga stakeholders, including sila Direk Joey and some producers, who recommended my name to be head of FAP. At ang naging usapan lang, the goal is to restructure FAP. Okay. It's not to change leadership pa. Hindi ito padrino system, hindi ito sinong lalagay natin diyan. It's how can we change the system and make FAP functional for the film industry. My name was submitted and anyway, later on I said yes, and ito masakit siya sa ulo, but the restructuring is so provenant kasi nag-FGD kami sa film workers, ano ba ang kailangan? Ano bang mga programa na hindi ko kontra sa programa ng FDCP para we're all running properly streamlined. So, we have an opportunity here to raise the agency from the ground up.
Yeah.
It's really, really difficult, but we're doing it now, and hopefully, with the tripod, and I always refer to us as a tripod, FDCP, Mowelfund, and FAP. With the tripod, hopefully, we create a whole mindset sa film industry na nagbabago talaga. Pero, and I will say this to everyone, the challenge is not just on us. Yung challenge ay nandun rin sa worker mismo. Kasi we can only provide this, we can provide the parameters, but at the end of the day, it was your choice to be a freelance worker. So, yes, welfare will be there to help you sa benefits mo or whatnot. Pero magbayad ka naman ng SSS mo monthly. Magbayad ka muna ng taxes mo. you follow the Eddie Garcia law, so you do not stretch your health. So at the end of your career, maghahanap ka ng pension fund, hanapan mo sa FDCP, Mowelfund, FAP, pero it's a personal choice
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, to be a freelance worker is a choice. The government and Mowelfund will be here to support you guys and to really strengthen and empower the industry. But at the end of the day, all of us individually, we actually have responsibilities to our health, to our future, and to our labor health.
Yeah.
A wake-up call and reassurance, a perfect message for Filmworks. I thank you for putting context into that story kasi when I read that piece of information, all I could imagine was Martin Luther grabbing some of his theses and banging it onto the FAP's door, just telling them everything you had a problem with and sinabi lang nila na, sige, ikaw na lang.
No, man.
Pero may nangyari one time, si Ma'am Boots witness doon, di alam ni Direk Joey ito ata. Kwento ko lang. First time ako na sa board meeting ng FAP, and I felt like there was something wrong with FAP. Nagiging mafia lang yung mga guilds. Kanya-kanya lang. So, I wanted to raise changes. Nagkasigawan. I don't know if you remember sa kasigawan. I remember Ma'am Boots. Paolo, this is not the right forum. Hinay-hinay lang muna. Sabi ko, yes ma'am, I'm sorry. Because I was challenging everyone. And so medyo, it was, in my medyo baka naging masyado akong aggressive din. But I felt like, baka we can make changes internally muna.
No, kasi nakagawian na nila yan eh. Tandaan mo na ang tagal ganyan ng sistema. Pag umupo ka at you suddenly rock the boat, magre-resist talaga yan. I don't envy you. As a matter of fact, I take great sadistic pleasure knowing, okay, that I recommended you for that position kasi ang hirap. But the reason why you were recommended is because we knew you're going to confront a real major battle. Kasi ang hirap palitan ang nakagawian.
Well, I think there's nobody on this panel who knows that more than si Ms. Boots. You're hearing these descriptors of how difficult things are, yung nagsisigawan na nga ang FAP. Has it always been like this?
Totoo yung sinasabi nila that in the boardroom, great enemies can surface.
Yeah.
But I always say nga at board meetings, kung gusto niyo mag-away, okay lang, basta pakikinggan namin kayo. Pero pagkatapos ng board meeting, wala na, paglabas nito.
Yes.
But gusto niyo mag-away, if your issues are valid, go ahead, magsigawan kayo. Maganda naman acoustics na.
I'm going
Pero yun lang. Hanggang dun lang. At dapat ma-resolve.
Yes.
Wala nang paglabas.
I'm going to dig you for more history with regards to this. You were with, you were the I guess the word was president for the Mowelfund for almost 20 years. Is that correct?
18, 19 to be
almost
exact.
20 years of your life in service to the industry.
Pero hindi naman masyadong marami yung wrinkles.
Then.
No.
Because of the fulfillment element.
Yeah.
The only evidence is in just the amount of the fruits of your labor showing up everywhere, not just the people who went through the institution, but also just how solid the foundation of the places and the fields you've touched are. But on the other side of that, I do want to ask, parang ipapa-fact check ko po sa inyo. There's this sort of apocryphal story na while Erap Estrada did initially establish the Mowelfund, there are murmurings that he wasn't the only person who had contributed into its conceptualization. There were other legends involved?
Yes. In fact, the story goes, this is part of the urban legend, that in one of their drinking sessions, si Dolphy, FPJ, and Erap, these were the three kings of
the
their
three
era.
kings.
Talagang ganon. Nagkukwentuhan sila, and it was common knowledge to everybody, and to them, alam nila na they have been, replete with assistance. Talagang matulungin. Yung, Kasal, lahat ng okasyon, tumutulong sila. Oo. And so, nag-uusap sila, paano kaya natin, how can we further the assistance? And the story goes that it was Erap who said na, yeah, we can continue with all of this, but why don't we organize? Why don't we institutionalize this? Doon pinanganak ang Mowelfund. So they got their legal experts, they got their constitutional ganyan-ganyan. And they framed it. They framed the
So,
Constitution.
imbes na kwentong barbero lang during inuman, they actually created.
They created Mowelfund, okay? And that big chunk of land was donated by ERA.
Right. The best ideas come from high blood alcohol.
Yeah, when you're in high, not necessarily holy spirits.
Euphoria bringing you the best ideas.
Again, nagpapatunay na yung mga pinakamalalaking artista na akala ninyo na yun, nagpapakasarap lang sa kayamanan at popularidad nila. Ang daming kontribusyon na nagawa nila. Okay, even in the past.
Alam mo, I'll be remiss if I don't bring up this point. And this had been oft repeated by our national artist, Eddie Romero. We all respect him. And every time merong discussion, he would always bewail the fact na when it comes to the resolution of problems in the industry, maybe we can resolve our problems if among the external assistance that we get is a recognition from the business sector, maybe government and other sectors, that sana ang tingin nila sa film industry, hindi lang entertainment. Sana ma-develop yun na ang tingin nila is it can be a good business, of course, institution, di ba? Parati niya sinasabi yun, no? And now we know of producers who have that kind of mindset, pero sana dumami at sana ma-institutionalize din yun. Yeah, you know, I remember Direk Eddie always saying that. And FDCP can do that for the industry.
Well, yes. I mean, we are. I think we are focusing on the fact that it is not only art. I mean, the unique animal that film and cinema is. It's not only an art form, but it's basically a business.
Yeah, and that it can contribute to the economy.
You know,
largely.
It creates jobs for so many people.
Not only that, but in terms of proceeds, returns,
taxes pa lang, I think.
Di ba, Pao, Tita Boots, I mean, look at Korea. Okay, turning entertainment, turning popular culture into a powerful soft economy. Okay, I mean, it can be turned into a powerful economic force if it is given the proper perspective of how you tend to handle it. And well, a certain aspect of FDCP is doing that, to empower the producer, to make him realize that, hey, you can make a lot of money out of this. Okay, if only you learn to accept the fact that we have to globalize. Okay, you have to globalize and we have to up the ante of what we are doing.
That's correct. Now, if you'll allow me to sort of, as we put a pin on yung inyong mismong, let's call them talking points, I kind of want to have a bit of a segment here. Now, there is a lot that could be said and explained about what you do, but it's a lot easier to do it through examples.
Okay.
So, I'm going to sort of tell you a situation, pretend that I'm a film worker here, and parang klase lang po dito. Raise your hands if you think that your organization can do something for me. All right. I'm a film worker, and on set I had faced some form of discrimination, whether it be me being harassed by a producer or some threat to my job. I feel that I am in danger. Sir, Direk.
Okay, kasama sa professionalization ng FAP, magkakaroon kasi ng legal help desk at saka grievance committee. In fact, in coordination to with DOLE. We know naman na may Eddie Garcia law na. Pero magkakaroon tayo sa website natin, meron tayong grievance committee na kapag ang isang film worker feels like there's a valid grievance, pwede sila mag-report. Okay. But we always create a code, we always want to create a code of ethics system muna. The film worker, pwede siya magsumbong, one, sa boss niya, on the set.
Okay.
Okay. That should be how freelance industries work. Pwede ka magsumbong sa initial boss mo. Walang ginawa initial boss mo, pwede ka magsumbong sa guild mo. Okay. So guys, crucial to be a member of a guild. Walang ginawa ang guild mo or you're not a guild member, pwede ka na dumiretso sa FAP. That's when the government can step in or go to DOLE.
Okay, and to add, hindi sa social media.
Yes.
hindi ka merong nangyari sa iyo na which you didn't like or you felt na inabuso ka. Hindi yung ang una mong titirahin ay Facebook o kaya X, no. Go and report, okay, to FAP.
To be professional, it's part of that. It's a whole mindset change talaga. Parang you cannot be respected professionally if you do not go through the of being professional.
That's very fair, but we do have to acknowledge yung power of social media to speak truth to power. If ever you don't have the platform, it is really the only platform. All right, if you'll allow me to transition to my second situation then.
Yeah.
I get hurt on set. Anyone?
Oh, that's his job.
What's get hurt?
Accident.
May accident po, whether I trip on a wire or
Okay,
perhaps...
apart
Yeah.
from FAP, the Eddie Garcia law actually mandates na ang producer should provide insurances. Okay,
Yeah.
so dapat may insurance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ngayon, kung walang insurance, the worker can complain either sa DOLE or FAP,
Right.
and then pwede natin panagutin ang producer, depende sa situation.
That's for the incident proper. What happens to after? Sabihin po natin, I don't have the funds
Hospitalized,
for
gano'n.
Si Ma'am
hospital
Boots.
care.
Okay, Mowelfund provides hospitalization, but only on a limited scale, like what, 3 hospitalizations a year at 8,000 to 8,000 per hospitalization. Ano pwedeng gawin nun talaga? Pero yun lang ang kaya ng Mowelfund. Surgery at 15,000 assistance. Death at 35,000 assistance. Very limited kasi hindi talaga makakayanan ng Mowelfund. I take a lot of pride and I doff my hat to the workers of the staff members of Mowelfund and the benefactors of Mowelfund who have stood by Mowelfund all these 50 years. Come hell or high water, nandun sila. That's why I take a lot of pride na never, kahit na when we were really in the pits, no, hindi nahuhuli yung benefit. Hindi talaga nahuhuli. Yung sweldo ng Mowelfund, kumisan, konti huli. Like, dumating ako sa punto, nag-aabono ako ng sweldo, ganyan. Pero yung benefits, kahit na wala kaming pera, somehow, nagagawa ng paraan.
It's wonderful that it's part of the mandate. Ikaw, anong papel mo?
No, wala.
Ano lang, bago mag-complain yung film worker, bago siya na-aksidente, kailangan may pelikula muna. Kasama yun sa trabaho ng FDCP, nagbibigay sila ng incentives and grants to films mismo.
Okay. Pero kung wala siyang well, 2 points sa ni-raise ni Tita Boots, no? Number 1, it shows the importance of insurance.
Yeah.
Okay, of having an insurance, no? Kaya maganda yung pinaplano nga ni Ding Dong. Ikalawa, responsibilidad ng producer yun, na kunyari na aksidente sa set, na ipagamot yung tao dahil pananagutan niya yun. Okay, now, kapag ang producer, kunyari, not only sa aksidente, kung ano man parami, producer na hindi nagbabayad, okay, producer na nanunuba, i-report yun sa Film Academy. Okay? Ang Film Academy pwedeng i-reflect yun sa amin. At pag-reflect sa amin, yung producer na yun, red flag na.
Okay.
Ano ibig sabihin pag red flag na yung producer na yun? Wala na makukuha ang incentives yun. Dahil ibig sabihin, hindi maganda ang kanyang kontribusyon sa
We
industriya.
will no longer work with him.
Yeah, we refuse. Okay? You will not get any incentive. Okay? Dahil masama yung track record mo. So, sa bagay na yan, kami nila Pao, nagkakaintindihan kami dyan. The moment may producer o kahit na isang artista, okay? Isang artista na balahura, okay? Pagdating sa amin yan, oras na mayroong anumang project involving yung artistang yan, red flag yan. Okay, ganon.
We have late night phone calls with Direk.
Very late.
Very productive
very
late
late
night
night phone call.
All right, and as a last situation, I am a filmmaker and I want my film at the Oscars.
Okay.
To skip the premise.
Part of the mandate kasi ng FAP,
ito yun, sa kanila yan.
incentivize kasi international recognition, including Oscars. So, part of the new restructuring, kailangan gumawa ng strategy on how to win the Oscars. Okay, guys, i-underline ko lang to na hindi ito ang be-all and end-all ng Philippine cinema, ha? Okay. But we have to recognize na ang Oscar recognition ay malaking nagagawa sa ekonomiya ng any country.
That's right.
If cinema is a reflection of culture, laking bagay niya economically for us. Yes, it's under FAP if you want to win an Oscar, pero mahaba yung proseso at strategy. In fact, lagi kami in coordination with Direk kasi si Direk incentivizes naman mga international film festivals. But we have to understand ang Oscar campaign, the route to the Oscar campaign goes through the international film festival route.
First, yeah.
Siguro one major change, isingit ko lang guys if it's okay, isingit ko lang na the new FAP hindi lang sa isang category naka-focus yung international best feature because that's a pipe dream for all of us.
Best foreign film is very difficult.
You have to understand, in 97 years of the Oscars, wala pang Southeast Asian film na nanalo ng best international feature. However, you have other categories, best short film, best documentary, best animation. Not including all the other categories, best picture, best actor, best ano.
Right.
Kung alam natin paano pumasok sa mga categories na yun, we have bigger chances. To give you an example, we have several short films last year na nanalo na sa Oscar qualifying films.
Okay.
Let's give them money for campaign.
Yeah.
Right.
If we support them, baka ma-nominate tayo.
If you'll allow me to be a devil's advocate here, isn't it sort of a bad look to say we should aim lower?
No. Hey. Short films, animations, and documentaries are not lower than feature films. They're complete art forms in themselves. As a matter of fact, they're the most underrated, underutilized, under whatever, okay, in this country. And that is why, okay, segue. That is why, okay, it is the emphasis of the FDCP now to encourage animators, documentarians, okay, and short filmmakers. Another important point, tama ang sabi ni Paolo, no? Hindi yung pwede na, sige, maggumasa tayo ng milyon-milyon, maglagay tayo ng pelikula para mapansin ng Oscar. No, dear. If you notice, the most maingay films in the Oscars this year, all of them were big hits at Cannes. Anora, okay, and Anora and Emilia Perez. Okay, I'm Still Here was a big hit in Venice.
That's correct.
When you look back in Cannes, the winner of the best animated film was a hit in Cannes. Okay, Latvia. Okay, in Flow. Okay, a beautiful animated film. So makikita mo, from there, uugong ka, and if you're lucky, you get to reach Cannes. Now, what is the job of FDCP aside from funding filmmakers who go to these festivals? Pag ikaw ang Philippine nominee sa Oscars, we give you money.
Siguro direct to further our education about the Oscars and what it takes to market properly, which is it's a big component
Of course.
ng success nito. Ano-ano yung mga after a film is selected by the Philippine government, FAP, papasok sa Oscars, ano pa yung mga kailangang gastusan doon para, given na magaling talaga yung pinasok natin. No?
Tatlo.
Ayun.
Una talaga, dapat maganda yung pelikula mo. Dapat
yes.
paggastusan mo yung pelikula mo.
Okay, oo.
Eh kung 3 million pesos ang ginasta mo doon sa feature film mo, na puchi-puchi, hindi talaga, sabi nga ni Elsa, walang himala. Okay?
Okay.
Ikalawa, the campaign has to be well coordinated. You need foreign publicists.
Okay.
We cannot do it on our own. Alam mo ito ni Paolo, we were discussing it. If you're in Cannes, you need French publicists.
Tatlo yan. French, international, and US publicists.
After all of the bloody details of getting an Oscar film out there, we can really only pray and do our very best through whatever means necessary to get ourselves an Oscar win. We can only dream that the Philippines in good time can finally get that movie. And thank you very much to everyone here, not just Direk Joey for a shout out, but of course Direk Paolo and Miss Boots for everything that you have given today, from not just a curious mind like mine, but our viewers at home. And a bigger thank you for the work that all of you have done for championing the people and the institutions behind this giant cavalcade that is the film industry. So through the FDCP, FAP, and Mowelfund, while they do differ in roles, they share one mission: to keep Philippine cinema and Filipino filmmakers safe, secure, and thriving by all means. So catch our upcoming episodes as we continue spotlighting the stories that shape our industry, only here on Behind the Reel. Okay, now that that's moving, we can actually...
3 bits lang.
1,000, 1,000.
Feeling ko kasi mas na-acknowledge yung galing ng mga lalaking komedyante kaysa sa mga babaeng komedyante.
Araw-araw meron kang makakausap na hindi agree, lalo na tinatapakan yung pagkababae mo. No? Tapos hindi ka allowed to speak up, to take up space.
Bakit pag lalaki parang funny, pero pag parang nasashock kayo, diba? Yung gano'n.
Yes.
I think it's about time.
Correct.
It's about time.
Yeah. It's about time. Ito na. Let's change the world. Thank you so much, FDCP.